Before I can begin painting, I have to get rid of the old mural first. Here you see me covering it over with a thin layer of white paint. You could still see the old mural, so I decided to give it a second coat of white paint. I mixed this blue myself. It's to represent the colour of the NHS. And here I am again, giving it a second coat of blue paint. Here I'm using tiny pieces of masking tape to roughly plot out where my design is going to go. I created my own compass by attaching a pencil to a piece of string so that I could draw in the rainbows. I've painted over each rainbow 4 times to make the colours stand out a lot more. I'm using masking tape to decide how big I'm going to make the market hall and where I need to put the market hall. And by using tape, I can just peel it off and stick it back on again so I can get the position exactly where I want it to be. The market hall is the centerpiece. It is the focal point. So it's really important for me to get this positioning correct. Now I can begin drawing in the mountains and the fields. It's taken me 12 hours just to get to this point. Now added a few details to the market hall. You can see those lovely black and white timbers there. At this stage of the design, all I know it's going to be is rainbows, market hall and people. I have no other ideas at the moment of what it's going to look like. That comes as I continue working on it. At the end of each day, I make sure to protect the mural with a coat of varnish, and this helps to protect it from the rain. I'm now beginning to block in the fields and the mountains, and on this particular day it was pretty chilly. As you can see, I'm wrapped up in my winter coat. I've added the reservoir there in the background, and I'm now beginning to think about adding in the River Severn too, and I'm also starting to use bold and bright colours in the fields. I'm giving a lot of attention to the market hall at this time. I'm making sure that the positioning, the details and the proportions are exactly as I want them to be. Thinking about the farmers now, so I'm popping in sheep and tractors. I'm putting in roads and trains. The River Severn is beginning to emerge. It's starting to wind its way around the town. And up there on the top left is the red kite of Powys. Someone thought that the red kite was in fact a bat, and that actually gave me the idea of doing the Batman signal that you see in the Batman films. So this is our own red kite signal, where all our emergency responders come out when they see the signal there in the sky. I painted those mountains in the far distance 8 different colours before finally settling on that colour. I've put in the lady who sells cakes underneath the market hall on Saturdays, and I've added the sheep from another building onto this building. I'm sketching in the church here. I'm putting in things that people from the town would recognise. Put in a new road down here, and then we'll have the river that will sweep around this way and join up with the reservoir here, and then sweep around that way. And our key workers will be down here. I think we'll have Captain Tom in the middle there, and we'll have Spider-Man the postman on the roof maybe, or maybe hanging from the rainbow, or maybe even climbing up the wall. We'll see what we'll do with him. The paint reacted rather strangely in the lower section, so I had to rub it back and start over. Fortunately, it wasn't the whole piece though. This corner will feature the town hall and the cafe. And this section here is going to be dedicated to the emergency services. And now for the key workers and essential workers. Steve, how are you? I'm going to put a cashier here. So that'll be the till. I'm kind of visualising it with the tape at the moment. So, yeah. So we got all our different key workers here now.
Looking good.
Lovely Victoria who cheered us all up. And the poem continues. Very important people who stayed at home because they did their part as well. And in the old market hall, and the clock has just struck 9 even now. And the significant time here is 8 o'clock because that's the time we clap for our carers. So in the morning I'll be back to finish off the translation, the writing in Welsh. Then I have to translate in English. And a hashtag, the big thank you up there. And finally I get to sign it on the bottom. Well, the moment has finally arrived where I get to sign my name.